All
All
right,
right.
SHD, how we doing?
Whoop, whoop.
Woo!
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
come on,
Let's
clap.
do it.
All right. So this is it, guys. We are officially back after a 2-year hiatus. Welcome to season 26 of Survivor Hub Games. The long wait is over. I know you guys have been waiting very patiently this entire summer. We've had a lot of planning to do, lots of new rule changes and stuff like that we're going to go over today. But before we get into anything, I just want to say how excited I am to be back. This has been a passion of mine for a long time. Um, yeah, it's really good to be back. Unfortunately, our account got shut down 2 years ago, as many of you may know. Took away all of our posts, all of our history, everything, all that stuff. We had like about 1,500 followers or something like that. We're starting from scratch, but we're back, and that's all that matters. So here we are for season 26, and we asked you guys to bring a beverage with you to raise a toast to this season as we return for Survivor Hub Games. So everyone raise their drink, raise a toast to Survivor
Oh, we're
Hub
doing that.
Games.
We're doing that last. I mean, we're
No,
not
we'll
doing
do it
that
now. We'll
now.
do it now. It's too late.
We'll
It's too
do
late.
it.
We're doing it now. Everyone raise it.
Well, I
Welcome
didn't. I
back.
didn't even pour it yet. I had whiskey and I
It's
didn't
all
pour it
good.
yet.
It's all good. But with that being said, I welcome you guys to season 26 of Survivor Hub Games. Just a nice little thing to get us started there. Specs, for those of you that are here, thank you guys for joining. I know a lot of you guys have attended in the past. It's good to have you guys back as well. So, without further ado, we'll get into explaining a lot of stuff. We have a lot to go over. And if you guys didn't know this already, we're not having any challenge of any sort tonight. This is just rules, explaining all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'll get started. Jonah's going to go over a few things. I'm going to go over a few things. So, we have a Google Doc here with all the rules we need to explain on it. So, I'll start us off here. Cross-tribe communication. We all know that's very basic rule in these kind of survivor games. Can't talk with anybody that's not in your tribe. I know we can't necessarily stop you, but we encourage you to respect the integrity of this game and not do that. That way, it's fair for everyone else. But when you are communicating with your tribe mates, we ask you to add the Survivor Hub Games account to your chats. I know some of you guys have done that already. Jonah pointed that out earlier as well, but that's very important so we can understand what's going on in the game and stuff like that. So I ask you guys to do that. Screenshotting is also never allowed. You can't send screenshots of texts with some person to another person. That's not allowed. That kind of ruins the integrity of the game. So yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. And then someone's in this. Oh, just a spec. All right, and I'll let Jonah cover the next
Yeah,
topic here.
yeah. We're kind of just going to go back and forth here, just that we're like we're
Mhm.
splitting the load here. But yeah, the
Yeah.
next thing. This is pretty straightforward. I think everyone intrinsically already knows this, but I'm going to say it anyways. Like yeah, no misconduct, no racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, xenophobia, toxicity. This game's supposed to be fun. You don't have to be a mean person. There's no reason to be. If this happens, we might warn you the first time if we notice any prejudice whatsoever. But if it happens a second time, you're just going to get ejected right then and there. So this is supposed to be fun. Like no one needs no one needs to be just a moron. No one needs to be a dick. There's no reason to be. So just be a nice person. There's no strategic advantage in being a dick, so please don't. I mean, swearing is fine, but everything else, no slurs, obviously. And yeah, racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, xenophobia, toxicity. We can't have that.
All right, you heard him. That's right. But next, I want to talk about immunity challenges. So that's a pretty big topic. Obviously, that's a huge part of this game. So they're all over Zoom. So we're all on Zoom right now. This is how it's going to be for all of the immunity challenges this season. And I'm sure all of you guys saw that we sent you a list of items that you will need to have for the challenges this season. And Jonah also told you guys this. We will let you know at least 36 hours in advance which item you need for the next immunity challenge. So it really shouldn't be an issue. These are pretty simple items that you should be able to just go get at a super like cheap store or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory there. Just get those items, have them ready. Um, and yeah, they're not very pricey either. They're all pretty cheap. So yeah, and all challenges are recorded, by the way, as well as tribal councils, which I'll get to in a minute, or which Jonah will get to. But they're all recorded. I will probably post a lot of them on the YouTube channel after the season, just in case anyone else wants to watch or if you guys want to go back and watch them at all. But yeah, everything in this game is recorded. So yeah, I'll hand it back to Jonah. He's going to talk to you guys about tribal councils a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm going to talk about tribal. Before that, I'm also going to reiterate something I already mentioned to you guys in the chat. I said it in the chat, and I'm also going to say it here. Create chats with the hosts. Very, very important. It's not only so that it's not from like a logistical standpoint that we need to be seeing everything that's happening. It's also that we want to see everything that's happening. So there's nothing necessarily that we're going to be annoyed at that would be behind closed doors. It's really just predicated off of us wanting to see and hear. We want to know the tea. We want to know what's going on. We want to see the social interactions. We want to hear the calls. We want to see the strategizing. So add us to everything. Right now, you guys are only in tribes, so obviously you're not going to be adding any of the other tribes to any of your chats. But yeah, just duo chats, alliance chats, keep it within the tribes. Don't cross-tribe communicate. The only times where you can interact whatsoever with the other tribes is on here publicly, in the main chat publicly. You're not allowed to DM each other on Instagram when you're not on the same tribe. You're not even allowed to DM someone privately on Zoom that isn't on the same tribe. That's completely prohibited. I already went over that in the Instagram page, but that's one of the first things. As far as tribal council goes, so I'll talk a little bit about that. There isn't a whole lot to say here. I'll get to the pre-voting and willing votes and how we've made a little adjustment, to say in the least, in terms of how that works and in juxtaposition to what we were doing in the past. But with tribal councils, they're always on Zoom. Always, this is a Zoom survivor game, so we're not going to be hosting anything through the Instagram page, through the DMs. We're not doing anything like that for the tribal councils. So tribal councils are held right after the challenge. And let's say your tribe wins immunity, you just get off the Zoom. So you'd be free to go. You enjoy the rest of your night off. And the tribe that does go to tribal council, will leave them on the Zoom. And we'll basically say, hey, like, this is what time we're going to be doing tribal. Is that okay with you guys? If someone consents, then we're going to change the time. We're probably going to leave a few options available on the table in terms of what you can do for the time that works for you. But we're going to be relatively stern about, like, okay, we can do tribal within this range. But if there's anyone that like calls out and says, okay, that doesn't work, then yeah, we can adjust it. It fluctuates from time to time. Usually you get at least 30 minutes of strategizing after you've lost a challenge. But ideally, it's good to give you guys a lot of time. It's just that most of these challenges are going to be really late. Ideally, we don't try and do a challenge and then a tribal like the next day. So that's not something that we try to do, ideally. We've done it before, but that's not really what we're trying to do. So we usually don't have strategizing last any longer than an hour, to be honest. It's usually no more than an hour. Am I frozen?
No.
Okay, terrific.
Nope.
Saying that, but so basically, yeah, that's how that works. We don't do tribals the next day. And tribals are going to be held on Zoom. So basically, Brady usually hosts most of the challenges. Everyone hops on, and then I'll ask tribal questions. And yeah, after that's over, it's you guys as tribals. You guys, it's free will in terms of what you're allowed to say. As far as how long tribal lasts, I mean, it can be anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour. I mean, Brady, do you remember the Alex tribal? Was it the Alex tribal? What was the one that lasted for like an hour?
It was that one. It lasted,
yeah.
It lasted
So
a very long time.
it's you guys as tribal. Obviously, it can piss players off when like they have to leave, they have to go to sleep. They're on the Zoom and they didn't pre-vote. I mean, yeah, like if you do have to leave, then in that case you would cast a pre-vote. But as far as how long tribal goes, it really fluctuates from time to time. It's usually anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour. It can really be anywhere within that range. But sometimes like tribal isn't live, and sometimes everyone just knows who they're voting for. So it happens all the time, and they'll just ask questions and we'll go to the vote. As far as the vote goes, we're going to be doing something a little different this season. 2 years have passed, so we've gotten a little bit of inspiration from some other games. We used to have we're still doing this, right? The breakout room for the votes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, I was just making sure. So how it used to work is you used to just privately send us hosts vote through Zoom. And we're not going to do that now. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a voting confessional breakout room. And you hop in, you say your piece, you say who you're voting for, and then you leave. So it's 3 tribes of 6 right now. So let's just say the first tribal council of the season, there's 6 people. We would just have you go in one at a time. After all 6 of you are done, then we would just read the vote. So that's how that would work. Yeah, Brady, I'll talk about pre-voting and willing votes. Do you want to move on to the next thing, or do you want me to just go into that right now?
We can move on to the next thing before we get to that. And
Okay.
before I say anything else, can everyone just like go on mute for a second because I'm hearing a lot of background noise, and I don't know if it's like that for anyone else. But yeah, that's basically how tribal council works. After you guys go into the breakout room and vote, I will then read the votes, and then after that, you got whoever's voted out will have a bit or a few moments to like give their final words and all that stuff, and then you leave the Zoom. So it's pretty
Yeah,
simple.
and
But
yeah, I was talking to Brady about this. You can't do final words inside of the main chat or the tribe chat. We used to
no,
allow that. No, if you don't show up to the Zoom and you get voted out, no final words for you. If you are on the Zoom, you have to do your final words right then and there. You can't just come back 30 minutes later and then do your final words and blow up everyone's game. We're not allowing that. I don't know why we allowed that for so long. So that's going to be prohibited.
all right. Well, the next topic that we have, I know this is boring, guys. Bear with me here, but I promise you guys that you need to know this. Like this is important stuff for this game. So bear with us here. The next topic is we have a new jury rule in place. I'm gonna let Jonah speak on that a little bit. So yeah, I'll hand it back
Yeah,
to
I
him.
mean, yeah, if you're on the jury, like you still need to watch the season. I mean, you can't just like have a bland perception of the game and just base all your opinion off of what you're hearing from hearsay from everyone else that comes in. So yeah, when you're a jury member, obviously a lot of people no one plays to make jury, everyone plays to win. So I think a lot of people are just very disconnected from the game if they're on the jury. But we're going to be strict about this. So if you don't attend 3 Zooms as a jury member, you're off the jury, you lose your vote. We used to not be that strict about it, but you do need to attend tribal in order to have a good gauge on who you actually think played the best game. So yeah, you do need to attend Zooms as a jury member. And yeah, we're going to be pretty strict about that this season. So if you miss 3 as a jury member, you're off the jury. Now some people might think that's unfair for the people that are voted out near the end, but the people that were voted out near the end, they have a good gauge on the game. Usually their jury vote is a bit more accurate because they spent so much time in the game that their jury vote almost like counts a little bit more because they've seen more of the game at that point in time. So if you're voted out at the final 5, you literally can't be ejected from the jury no matter what happens. Please attend anyways, but you can't be ejected from the jury. But at that point in time, you've already seen most of the game in the game. So it's different for that type of person. Whereas if you're voted out early jury, well, yeah, you're going to have to attend all of them. And if you don't attend 3, you're going to be kicked off the jury. So we're going to be very strict about that. That's something that we have in place for this season because you can't just base your jury vote off of what happened in the game coupled with hearsay. You need more information than that. So please attend the Zooms, even if you're on the jury. I know it sucks, you're out of the game, but be a good sport about it, and you're still part of the game. So yeah.
Yep, he's right, guys. That's a very important. Or wait, hold on. Oh, sorry, someone just walked in. But yeah, that is very important. You guys are still in the game, as he said. Like you guys have a say in who wins the game for those of you that make it there. So it is very important to show up to Zoom calls after you're voted out. I know it may be a little butthurt for you because you just got voted out of the game, right? But that's important. So next topic is confessionals. Jonah is going to talk to you guys about that because that's also another big thing. So yeah.
Yeah, sure. So confessionals, I mean, we usually didn't do that, asking you guys to create an intro video, but we wanted to do that just that you guys could introduce yourselves to the cast and the specs and us. But as far as confessionals go, this is, it's completely just private videos that you're sending to us and we'll only post after the season is over. So it's basically just a way how to show us and the specs, because we can still show them confessionals during the season. We absolutely promise here, like the confessionals that you send in are completely confidential. Only us and the specs are going to be able to watch them. We're really strict about that. We don't let the specs be biased in any way, shape, or form. If any of you on the cast are worried about that, the specs aren't looking to fuck up anybody else's games. They know the rules and they're not going to be biased towards anyone. They'll be biased maybe in terms of like, oh, I have this favorite and this favorite, but they're not actually going to help anybody out. So it is going to be fair game for everybody. So the confessionals that you send in, they're completely confidential. They're for Brady and I, and they're only going to be posted after the season is over. As far as how long the confessionals or how many you have to film, 8 minutes minimum, like for the entire season. because whenever you film just one confessional in one take, usually it's just like a minute long. It really depends on different aspects of the game and where we're at. We want confessionals. I mean, we've done that a lot where we've we've had people who just didn't film confessionals the whole game. Again, like we want to know the tea, we want to know the scoop, we want to know what's happening. So the confessionals are a really good way to do that. You're going to be it's better to film confessionals because it gives us a better gauge of what's going on. And they all get posted after the season, so you'll get your airtime, So yeah, at least 8 minutes, guys.
Okay. Well, the next topic we have is immunity, idols, and advantages. This has always been a hard thing for me to explain because it's very hard to put into words, but I'll try my best here and hopefully you guys get the point. So I'm sure a lot of you guys here know how idols and advantages and that kind of stuff work. So usually what we will do is we will post a comment on either a famous person or a CBS Survivor person's Instagram page, and you guys will be sent a clue, and that will lead you to the Instagram page of whatever player it is, and you will just scroll down through all their posts, and our comment should be at the top because it would be relatively recent at the time, so you guys should see it without having to actually go in the comment section. And yeah, after that, you would just screenshot it. That's very important. You have to screenshot it. You can't just send the post of which it is hidden on. You have to screenshot the message that we put in the comments and send it to us, and the first person to do that gets whatever we hid. So yeah, you guys, like I said, you'll get a clue. It could be sent randomly. It could be sent after we tell you guys that's going to be sent, like it anytime really. And yeah, you just go through the person's Instagram that you think it is, and you try and find it, and whoever gets it gets it. So if there's any questions about that, save them for the end, because we'll let any questions flow our way after we're all done speaking. But yeah, I'm gonna hand it back over to Jonah because we're gonna go back to how we were talking about pre-voting earlier. We have a big new rule in place for that, so I'm gonna give it back to Jonah for that.
Yeah. So the main big rule is that willing votes is no longer a thing. Big
Mhm.
difference, and no game does this. I mean, literally, no game does this. I'm about to get to that, but first, I'll just talk about pre-voting. So we're not really changing anything for this. The only difference now is pre-voting is absolutely mandatory if you can't vote. So I'm not going to talk about what the rule was before. The spectators already know it. Some of the players already know how we used to do this. Not everybody though. So for pre-voting, very simple. If you can't attend a challenge, can't attend a tribal, or you just can't attend a round at all, and you can't be active, you can't pre-vote, you have to send us a pre-vote. So if you can't attend the tribal, we're still going to count it. You just pre-vote. You have to cast a vote for a person on your tribe. Now, you can cast a pre-vote as a placeholder before your tribe is even lost. If you know that you're going to be just completely unavailable for a whole day, that whole 24-hour period is just you're not available and you can't be active and you can't get the tea, can't get the scoop of what's going on. Then you have to cast a pre-vote at that point in time. We're going to be very, very strict about this. And this kind of leads me back to the willing vote. So what we used to do, and I'm going to explain a little bit about why we're just abolishing this as a whole. But what we used to allow is willing votes. So you have your vote and you just give it to someone. They now have two votes and you don't have a vote and they just control you. That's stupid. I mean, we thought about it over and we're actually rewarding players too much. I mean, Brady, you can tell me if you disagree, but I think that willing a vote to someone is almost an advantage. If you
Mhm.
trust them that much, they're like, "Oh wow, he gave me his vote. He must trust me. She must trust me." But fact of the matter is, like, if you don't have a vote and you're giving your vote to someone else, we're basically rewarding you on some level for not showing up. Obviously, having your vote for yourself is very valuable, but if you actually trust that person wholeheartedly, you're not going to care that you gave them their vote. So I think it gives players just way too much just power and ammunition where they can just not show up, not be available, and just have someone else control the vote. So we're completely abolishing that this season. It's not allowed. You cannot will your votes on any given situation. As far as pre-voting goes, like I said, if you don't actually show up to the Zoom, you have to pre-vote. And we're going to be more strict about this than ever before. And we're going to be more strict about this than literally any rule that you guys can break. I mean, like preface, like if you like said a slur on just like that, like obviously that will be in juxtaposition to this. We treat it basically the same, just you're ejected and that's it. But we're going to be very strict about this. So I'm going to make this very clear to everybody so that you guys understand. You have to pre-vote if you don't attend a tribal council. If there's a tribal council that you're supposed to be attending because your tribe lost or it's post-merge, you absolutely, if you aren't there at the Zoom to vote live, you have to pre-vote. There's no exception to this rule, absolutely nothing. If you're supposed to vote and you don't vote, you're going to be ejected immediately. We're more strict about this now, largely because life can happen, right? We're not saying that life can't happen. Something absolutely tragic can happen. We're totally aware of that, and we're not dismissing that in any way, shape, or form. You don't have the time to hop on Instagram and send us a 4-second vote. It'll literally take you 4 seconds. So even if like the most monumentally destructive thing happens, you 100% have the time to send us a pre-vote. It will only take you 4 seconds. So everyone should have the time for that, no matter what the situation is. If you think that there's even a hair of a possibility that you think you might not be able to attend a Zoom and might not be able to attend the tribal, just pre-vote way in advance, just to save yourself from this. But if you don't, if your tribe goes to a tribal council or it's post-merge and you're supposed to be casting a vote and you don't vote, you're ejected from the game.
Yeah, and guys, that is a very strict rule. We understand that. And like Jonah was saying earlier, not many games do that. I don't think any games have that rule. I could be wrong. Someone don't quote me on that. But yeah, that is a very strict rule. We've had times in the past where it would be a 6-person tribe and only 3 people would vote, and we'd only have 3 votes. We don't want that again because that just kind of ruins it, right? Like we want 6 total votes if it's a 6-man tribal. Like that's just that should make sense, right? So make sure you get in a pre-vote. If you can't attend tribal council or you're not active at all that day, you can send it literally whenever. Like it can be anytime, like before the challenge, after the challenge, before the tribal, anytime. Just send us a pre-vote. So that's very, very strict rule. I know, but it's important. So
Yeah, I want to say something else on that.
okay, go for
If
it.
you don't vote, right, because we're not allowing milling votes this season, you can't just bequeath your vote to someone and have them cast the vote for you. If you don't vote, you're basically refusing to play our game. That's essentially what you're doing. So yes, it is strict, but if you don't have your vote, what do you have? There's an org saying the only two things you have in Survivor are your vote and your words. And if you sacrifice one of those two things, well, you're pretty much handicapped as a player. So yeah, guys, we're being very strict about that this season. You got to vote. Okay, we can move on.
Okay. So the next topic we're almost there, guys, I promise. So next topic is off days. So I want to touch up on this a lot because um as a host, I am a lot busier than I used to be when I hosted 2 years ago. Back then, I was still in high school, had a lot of free time. And don't get me wrong, now that I'm in college, I do still have free time, but it's not as much free time as you think. So we're going to have a lot more off days than usual. So we'd usually do like one off day a week, maybe in these past few seasons, but we're going to have about we're going to have an off day about every other day, if I'm being realistic, maybe every other 2 days, something like that. So I'd say around 3 off days a week is what we're aiming at right now. Um, that's just so we don't completely take up y'all's time, and that's so we don't take up me and Jonah's time. I know everyone else has lives outside of this game, and not everyone can attend every night, so including us. And yeah, that's just a warning there. We're going to have a lot more off days than usual. But that doesn't mean the game stops. I want to touch on that too. That does not mean the game stops. This gives you like a whole entire day to communicate with your tribe mates, communicate with whatever, build that social game. But I promise you, the game does not stop. Like it's only the beginning from what I'm saying. So yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. We'll let you
Yeah,
guys
can I say
know.
something as well?
Yeah,
When we say the game doesn't stop, we're not talking about our expectations of you. We're saying that if you think that the game has stopped, you're at a massive disadvantage because the people around you are going to be playing and talking to each other. So I do see it a lot of the time with games on and off day, just to like socialize with your tribe mates or whatever. They'll say, "Oh, how was your off day?" It's like it's not really an off day. So people can still say that anyways, but the game doesn't stop for anybody.
yeah. So we've got few topics left. Jonah, I'll actually touch on the next one because it's very short and self-explanatory. So the duration of the game, a lot of you guys have asked us about that already. This game will probably last around 3 weeks, I'd say, maybe 4 because of how many off days we're going to have this season. In the past, it would only be about 2 to 3 weeks, but we hardly had any off days, right? Like we'd be doing it every night. So from now on, it's probably going to be around 3 to 4 weeks with the off days. And I know that sounds like a long time, like that's basically a month, but we're not going to be on the Zooms every single night, right? Like it's going to be evenly dispersed. Like we're not going to have calls Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like that's not how it's going to be. So I'd say around 3 to 4 weeks, 3.5 maybe for the duration of this game. So it'll go by a lot faster than you guys think. It'll fly by. So um, yeah, and then there's one more topic I want to go over. So after the game, we've always done this in the past. A hangout chat is what we like to call it, is created. It's just for all of you guys to chat with each other after the season's over. I'm not really going to touch on that right now because it's a long, long way from now. We're just getting started here. So, um, yeah, the last topic we have here is the winner prize. I'm going to hand that over to Jonah because it's pretty important.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's $20 for the winner, USD. So whoever wins the game, they get $20. And no one else. Exactly, Justin. But yeah, the winner gets $20. So yeah, enter Battle Triumph. There's $20 on the line. Yeah, guys, life-changing prize. Yeah, Brady, I told you they would say that. Okay.
It's all good.
Yeah. So yeah, Brady, can I talk about I know you said that was the last thing, but can I talk about like the twists for the season?
No, yeah, I was just about to say, like, if we have anything else to go over, then let's do it. So
Yeah,
go for it.
I think I'll just take the floor from here, and then you can just take it when. I mean, I don't think there's anything else, right?
No, there's
Just
not. That's
you
it.
wanted to say.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's good.
So twist this season. Obviously, I'm not disclosing everything right now. I'm telling you what we can tell you right now. Everyone, listen up. Shot in the dark is in play this season. And if for you guys that know, if you've seen the new era and you know how that works, basically, if you know that if you're the one that's going to go home, and you don't have an advantage, you don't have an idol, you have no way to save yourself. It's basically a hail mary last ditch effort. You can forgo your vote in exchange for a 1 in 6 shot at safety. As far as that works in correlation to advantages, you can't play an extra vote and then play your shot in the dark if you have one. You can't play a steal a vote and then play your shot in the dark if you have one. If you use your shot in the dark, you cannot vote, and it's an exchange for a 1 in 6 shot at safety. So if you use your shot in the dark and also have an idol, and you decide you just want to use your shot in the dark because it's final 7. Like if you think you're going home at final 7, you still have your shot in the dark and an idol. You can use your shot in the dark, and then if it doesn't work, then you can use your idol. That's allowed. But if you have like an extra vote or steal a vote for whatever reason, I'm not going to say if there are any this season, and if so, how many, but you can't vote if you use your shot in the dark. Journeys, that's also going to be a part of the season. We're going to talk about that later. But yeah, there's going to be journeys. Like there's going to be times where tribe members they'll go somewhere, they'll do something, and they'll come back. So that's pretty much how that works. So yeah, Brady made this a little bit anticlimactic before, so I'll just do the real thing here. Yeah, we're about to raise the toast here, but before I do that, just have some self-respect, guys. Like this is there's 18 of you, only one person can win. Play to win, play hard, be active, be dedicated. You don't sign up and just wait this long just to not try. So yeah, with that being said, I'm going to read a poem. We're gonna do bottoms up, and then that's gonna be it. All right. After 2 long years, we're back with a cheer. Season 26 is finally drawn near. 18 brave souls with dreams in their sights, ready to battle through days and nights. They've waited and pondered. Now it's their turn in this digital arena where passions will burn. With cunning and courage and plans that will shift, who will outwit and who will be left adrift? Old bonds will falter, new alliances grow. Secrets and strategies will ebb and flow. The hiatus is over, the stage is set for fierce competition and challenges met. So raise up your glasses, let's toast to the strife, to the players who will give their all for the prize of their life. Season 26 is here. Let the games erupt. to our cast and their journey. Now, bottoms up.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Lord.
Oh, all right. This is awesome.
Let's go. All right, who we got on these tribes? All right, wearing yellow, you guys are the Rayo tribe, which is Spanish for lightning. We have Benji, Daniel, Curry, Kylie, Nikki, and Shane. On the blue tribe, it's called Kiwi. It's Finnish for stone. We have Carvin, Christian, Kyle, Lizzie, Mads, and Sammy. And then the gray tribe, Imatsu, which is I think it's Japanese for torch. We have Audrey, Brogan, Hemi, Lefteri, Rose, and Violet. All right.
Yeah, that's about it, guys.
Oh yay, we can unmute now.
What'd you say?
Sorry, guys, I did it early. That's my
Yeah,
bad.
no, you can unmute now. But yeah, that's about it for tonight, guys. Hopefully that wasn't. I know that was a little bit boring, but I promise you that'll be worth it in the end.
Hold up. Lowe's.
Yeah, what's up?
Are y'all gonna make confessional chats, or do we make them?
We forgot to touch on that. That's it. You messaged us that earlier, and I wanted to touch on that. So, I'll start us off brief here. Confessional chats, we are not going to allow those, and I know that may be a big downer for some of you guys, but we've had instances in the past where some spectators would join multiple confessional chats and be helping players in the game. We don't want that again. And this is very similar to like cross-tribe communication. We really can't stop you, but just respect the integrity of the game. We don't want to allow those this season. You guys are going to be sending video confessionals to us anyways, and they're going to be posted after the season's done. And I know you guys may want people to know outside of the game how your game is going, but we're not going to allow that this season just solely because we don't want anyone getting info from a spec or something like that. So, yeah.
No, they're still going to make their first decision as tribes, though, so we're not entirely over yet. So.
No. That's not it. That's not it. Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, what did they say?
All right, I'm like fixing something. Hold on, Johnny. You can speak if you need.
Okay, well we can send confessionals to the spec chat. We have a spec chat, guys. We have a massive spec chat. We can just send all the confessionals in there. So yeah.
All right. So I believe there is one more thing to touch on before everyone heads out. So Jonah, would you like to reveal?
Absolutely. So this is your first decision as tribes. One person on each tribe right now is going to go on a journey. Brady, did we create tribe chats? I don't think we did.
I'm about to.
Nope. Okay. So basically how this works is, it's very simple. After we create the tribe chats, you guys are going to have 10 minutes to make a tribe decision. You guys will be picking amongst yourselves one person for each tribe to go on the journey. You'll have 10 minutes. If you don't make a decision within 10 minutes, we're just going to spin a wheel. So it's really a matter of, does someone volunteer versus does the tribe try and have one person go specifically? Maybe it'll be a united decision for all three. Maybe it'll go to rocks for all three. Maybe it'll be 2-1. Maybe it'll be 1-2. We'll see. So that's the first decision as tribes. He's going to create the chat, so I guess you guys can just talk about it openly in there. But yeah, you guys can talk to each other, think about that, and we're gonna. It's just a tribe decision. So after he creates the chat, you guys can just talk about that in the tribe chat. Yeah, one person per. We could create breakout rooms. Actually, that would probably be much easier.
Mm-hmm. I'll do that after I make the tribe chats.
Yeah.
Do you know how to join a breakout room? That's probably a stupid question, but like I don't use Zoom.
Did you use it?
I'm not gonna lie. Like
no, I was homeschooled. I didn't have to use nothing. I'm a homeschooled kid.
That is
All right, hang tight, guys. I'm gonna finish making these tribe chats, and then I'll explain the breakout room situation.
Well, thank you. I'm gonna need it.
Instagram tends to not like to load sometimes, so it's
Yeah,
taking longer than I thought.
Here it is. I got mine.
I got mine too.
Woo!
Yeah. Okay.
All right. What the hell is that?
I know.
All right.
What the heck?
Last tribe chat is created. Let me name it real quick. All these names are going to be temporary, by the way. I'm going to make them look a lot nicer. But oh no, I could mess that one up. Not true, but meant tribe. Okay. All right. So I am going to open up some breakout rooms. I'll do 4 of them, 3 for the tribes, 1 for the specs, I guess. Why not? Let participants choose room. Okay. Yeah, we'll do here. I'm gonna name them by tribe real quick. Don't join anything yet.
Don't talk about it. My rubber band literally just snapped. Like it literally snapped. I was like, what?
No, it was just the
Okay.
face that you were making. I was like,
All right, so here's how it's gonna work. Here's how it's gonna work. So as Jonah said, you guys have a decision to make as tribes. Someone's in the waiting room. So you're gonna choose one person from your tribe to go on to a journey, and I'm gonna open up breakout rooms in case you guys want to go in there decide as a tribe. So breakout rooms are open. There should be an option at the bottom of your screen that says breakout rooms. If you're having trouble, let me know. I'll try and help you, but for now, yeah, just go in the breakout room of your
It's
tribe.
at the top left if you're on phone.
There you go. Thank you, Hemi. That helps a lot because I'm not on the phone. All right.
Where?
Yeah, so we'll give you guys 10 minutes.
Here we go.
Starting soon, I guess. But
We'll give you guys until like 8:55-ish.
Oh, okay. I see it now. All right. Okay. Bye, guys.
Good.
Did it join?
Is Rose like frozen for you, Jonah?
I don't see her moving.
I think
She's
she's
the
frozen.
last one. Okay, I think she is the last one.
I think she's. Oh, okay. There she is.
Who's
We
Clash
did it!
Buds? Who's Clash Buds? I just want to know.
Who?
Who's Clash Buds?
Clash Buds. I don't know. I don't know who that is. All right, whatever.
Yeah, it's Andy spying on us.
I don't know who it is, but we did it. We did it. Oh God.
Was it a
That was like,
player, right?
wait, let me like hold up. All right. So, we just gave you guys 10 minutes to decide who you are going to send on a journey. So, we'll start with the Rayo tribe. Who have you guys decided on to go on the journey?
Me. I would be
Is
taking
that
Corey.
final?
We
Corey,
did a weird
okay.
thing. We
Yeah.
just did a
All right.
weird thing.
All right, Corey for Rayo will be going on the journey. Next up, the Kiwi tribe. Who have you guys agreed on?
I'm gonna be going.
Kyle? Everyone,
Yeah.
is that valid?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle for Kiwi. And finally, the Taimatsu tribe. Who's going for y'all?
I'm going.
Hemi? Is that final?
Yep.
Any objections? Okay. All right, Hemi for Taimatsu.
No rocks.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, hold on. Let me get the. All right. Well, that concludes our first Zoom call. I'll let Jonah handle everything with those of you that have been selected to go on the journey through Instagram DMs. So, yeah, I'm gonna end this Zoom actually, or shortly after this or whatever, so I can convert the file or whatever. But for now, that's it. Plan on sometime later tomorrow night. We're gonna have a immunity challenge tomorrow. That way we don't have a break day in between a marooning and a challenge. I mean, I personally can't wait that long. So, yeah, we're going to do an immunity challenge tomorrow night. What we'll do, I will send times. I'm probably going to make another chat with you guys all in it. And it'll be announcements only. So no one can text in the chat or anything, just so no messages get like lost or whatever. So what I'll do, I will send a list of times and you will like the message of the times that work best for you. And then whichever one has the most likes, we will do for the challenge. So it's probably going to be a little later. That's just because everyone's usually off work or out of school later. We don't want to do any early like that. So yeah, that's about it for tonight. Players, you're good to go. You can go chat with your tribe mates, and that's all we got for you tonight. Appreciate y'all for
We're
popping
gonna
in.
end the Zoom, so I think the journey though, guys, like Brady, can we do that tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, so for those that are going on the journey, we're still ending the Zoom. Stay active because we're going to create a new one shortly. We're going to consult with you guys and just see like if all three of you can just hop back on. I mean, that's probably the case, but yeah, I'll just we'll consult with you three and then we'll get you back on the Zoom. It won't be this one. And yeah, so you guys are free. You guys enjoy the night off, talk with your tribe mates. Enter battle triumph.
Yes, sir. Good luck, everybody.
Bye.